Imagine this. Your rent is due in 3 days. Your bank account is almost empty. You don't know how you're going to pay it. Most people would panic. But two friends did something completely unexpected. They rented out air mattresses in their living room. That strange idea sounded ridiculous. People laughed. Investors rejected them. But today, that tiny idea is worth billions of dollars. This is the incredible story of Airbnb. It's 2007. San Francisco. Two designers, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, had just moved into a small apartment. Life wasn't going as planned. Money was running out. Rent day was approaching, and they didn't have enough money. Giving up wasn't an option. So they asked themselves one simple question. What do we already have? The answer: a small apartment, 3 air mattresses, and one opportunity. That same week, a huge international design conference arrived in San Francisco. Every hotel, completely booked, thousands of visitors, nowhere to stay. Brian looked at Joe and said, "What if we rent our living room?" They bought 3 air mattresses, offered breakfast, created a simple website, and called it Airbed and Breakfast. Most people thought it sounded crazy, but 3 strangers booked a stay. Those 3 guests didn't just pay rent, they proved an idea. Sometimes, you don't need thousands of customers, you only need your first few believers. Excited by their success, Brian and Joe tried raising money. Investor after investor rejected them. Some laughed, others said, "Who would ever stay in a stranger's house?" Many believed hotels would always win. They heard no again and again and again. Most entrepreneurs quit here, but not Brian and Joe, because they believed something important. People weren't looking for expensive hotels, they were looking for affordable experiences. Then another problem arrived. They were almost completely out of money. Their company was dying. Most startups would have shut down. Instead, they created limited edition cereal boxes. One was called Obama Owes the Other. Captain McCain's inspired by the 2008 U.S. presidential election. It sounds unbelievable, but they sold the cereal boxes and raised around $30,000. Not enough to build a giant company, but enough to keep the dream alive. Sometimes, the goal isn't to make millions. It's simply to survive long enough to find your breakthrough. Soon, Airbnb was accepted into Y Combinator. The founders received mentorship funding and something even more valuable: confidence. One piece of advice changed everything. Instead of trying to grow fast, go meet your customers. Brian personally visited hosts. He listened. He improved the website. He even photographed homes himself, because better photos meant more bookings. Tiny improvements created massive results. Bookings doubled, then tripled, then exploded. What started with 3 air mattresses became homes, apartments, cabins, tree houses, castles, and even private islands, millions of hosts, millions of travelers. Across more than 220 countries and regions, Airbnb didn't own hotels. It didn't build apartments. It simply connected people and transformed an empty room into an opportunity. Airbnb teaches us something powerful. Lesson 1. Your biggest problem could become your biggest business idea. Lesson 2. You don't need perfect resources, you need resourcefulness. Lesson 3. Rejection isn't proof your idea is bad. Sometimes, it simply means you're early. Lesson 4. Listen to customers more than critics. Small improvements create extraordinary businesses. And finally, every billion-dollar company starts with one small idea, one decision, one moment of courage. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia didn't set out to build a global company. They just wanted to pay their rent. Sometimes, that's all it takes. If this story inspired you, follow Sapiens Mind for more business stories, wealth lessons, and money lessons.